So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is from the Sidelines. This is a special State of Origin series wrap-up we're going to do tonight. We don't often do one after State of Origin, but we thought we'd do one because last night's game was so eventful. Eventful is a good word for a gentleman.
But also, the Blues won.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not here to rub it into...
Yes, we are.
We're all Blues supporters.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay. I noticed you're wearing a maroon hat.
I'm wearing a Seagulls hat, let me tell you, because it's I've got one foot in back.
Which the colour is
back. Come on. What, you guys seriously are a joke.
It's going to be the same story for the rest of your life because you're not going to go change your colours.
That's right.
And I won't change my colours.
That's right.
I'll never change my team.
From maroon.
You just
from the Seagulls, yes.
From maroon and white. So we're going to have a chat about tonight's game. This is not going to be a...
You mean you've got a Queensland ad?
No, I didn't know which Manly hat I was wearing, but it's pretty obvious this one.
Actually, no, it's a looking at the camera right now, it's a good look with you with a South ball in the background.
Oh.
Those colours would suit you well, Brian.
It's only because we're at Steve's place, that's all.
We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about some of the events, the brouhaha, the melee, the whatever you want to call it. Handbag slap. We'll talk about how good Mitchell Moses was for...
No, Brian's actually going to do a two-minute monologue about how good Moses was. He promised me he would.
When did I do that?
I actually heard that promise. Yes, it's a good thing.
Well, I didn't hear it from me.
And we'll talk about a few bits of the game, other bits of the game as well. We'll talk about how tough it was and all the challenges. So, gentlemen, let's get straight into it.
Yep.
Overall opinion of the game, what did you think?
I was enthralling game. I mean, for what it was 4-2, nobody'd scored a try up into the 55th or 60th minute or something like that. And neither team looked like they were going to score a try because even though I think the Blues had all of the possession and all of the field position, and I think they had a massive number of tackles in the Maroons 20.
Yes.
They just didn't look like scoring, even though they had all the ball.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was going to be a tight score, and it was going to be a moment in the game, and that moment happened. I know I'm biased, but I actually think that one of the biggest moves that happened was Connor Watson coming on in dummy half. I think him running with the ball changed the momentum at that point. He just took the opportunity, and I think that was pretty significant.
No, I'm not going to disagree with that. I mean,
I'm not saying he won the game.
No,
not by any means. But I think change in dynamic at hooker was significant at that point of time. So I think he should have come on earlier, a lot earlier. But the fact that he did come on, and then they kicked on, I think, was telling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brian, your overall opinion of the game?
Oh, I thought the first 40 minutes was probably the best half of football I've seen in, years.
Mm-hmm. Just State of Origin or
just football?
Okay.
I mean, you often, I love the defence. I love the big hits, the hard meters, and the stat that was telling continually throughout that first half was in each set they were making like 30 metres. It was that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Yeah. Like the continual 30, 40 metres, at the most, when you've had 6 sets, is telling defence. And it was brutal. And it wasn't. Yeah. Oh, look, there were some shots I thought were a little bit late, maybe a little bit over the top, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
And
I think
absolutely loved it.
Klein let it go in the main, I think.
And it was brutal the whole game. I mean, normally you got your first 10 minutes, which is you're sorting each
softening
other out,
up, and then you spread the ball. And they spread the ball, they just get belted.
And each team were lucky to have good kickers, like big boots on them. Cherry and Moses both had big boots to get them out of trouble. My thoughts on that are that Mitch Moses outkicked Cherry Evans. I thought
wow, that's a big call for you.
Luai, we often criticise Cody Walker because you get under his skin and he goes off his game.
Yeah.
Luai was under Cherry's skin the entire game.
Even towards the end.
I thought, wow, I've never seen Cherry Evans so far off a game.
Oh, he was niggling and everything. Cherry Evans was just
he was ready to kill him.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant gamesmanship. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about a couple of things throughout the game. One was, and I will come to the melee in a minute, but the kick for New South Wales to make it 2-2.
Yep.
From the sidelines, they get a penalty, and I'm screaming at the TV thinking, what the hell are you doing? Why don't you take it out? You look like you're about to break. Now, they hadn't broken before that.
Yep.
But New South Wales had got very close. And, I just felt they were good. But that was a brave call to take 2 from the sideline.
It was
and
a great kick.
And the kick for Lomax to take was unbelievable.
Look, I was initially surprised. But, hey, it was 2-0. And
you weren't losing,
and that was and let's face it, that was the second penalty inside the half. Up to that point. So you know what, you miss. Okay, Queensland get the ball back. You've got it, and it's a tied game at 2-2. Like, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
And
Lomax had another great moment where Walsh was tackled.
Oh, smart football.
And then he waited for Walsh to get back up and then pushed him over the sideline.
Did not touch him.
How many players would have actually dived on him? Just to pin him down or do whatever.
And you pointed that out to me. I saw it the second time, and I thought,
that was football smarts. That was and he knew exactly where he was going to go with it.
Yeah,
and that was after a tremendous tackle from Mitchell Moses.
Yes, it was
because Reece.
Ankle tapped him.
Reece Walsh was away.
Yes. And you admit that was a great tackle by Mitchell Moses.
It was an ankle tackle. It wasn't a tackle.
No. He legs tackled him. He legs tackled him.
Let me just say, at the time when Lomax picked him up and threw him over the sideline, there was no one else touching him, so it wasn't exactly a tackle.
Him down.
So it wasn't exactly a tackle.
At some point tonight, you were going to say Mitchell Moses played well.
I said he outkicked Cherry Evans. What do you want from me?
That's not saying he played well.
And the solo try was tremendous. It was like Sean Johnson.
It was. Really, all right, let's get to that. I mean, we talked about the brutality of the game. We talked about how tough it was. Then there was an issue where the ball was dropped. Luai and Cherry Evans come together, and then it all started and drifted over the sideline, and a few players got involved that shouldn't have been.
It started with Nanai just coming and pushing Luai around, and then they all came in. And look, Cameron Murray shouldn't have come, but then again, one of the commentators says that if you don't run in there, then you're not playing like a team.
You're not protecting your mate.
That's because we all remember a few years ago, Matt Burton got absolutely belted, and there were 5 Queenslanders standing over the top of him. Nothing.
Wasn't going to happen again.
No, there was no way. So I understand the players coming in. I don't understand why Nanai wasn't binned for that.
He was binned.
He was binned.
He got binned.
Oh, that's right. He got binned.
He got binned. I'm surprised a few others didn't get binned.
Yeah, but he was the instigator.
Yeah,
like that was going to be a push and a shove by Evans and Luai.
And I thought the rule was third man in gets binned, and then whatever happens after that is collateral.
Unless it's
it's really seriously foul play.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cameron Murray did anything foul play. He just came off the bench.
Can I just say, how do you bin a bloke who isn't even on the field?
Yeah.
Well, they did it.
Oh, that's the dumbest thing.
They sent a bloke off who was sitting in the sidelines.
And your captain wanted to send him.
Yeah, look, I can say, like, when Cam Murray was called over and I watched it again, before he said anything, I was thinking, mate, that's got to be an off. He's got to be sent off because you can't come in when you're on the bench, mate.
But in Murray's defence, he didn't.
There is.
In Murray's defence, he didn't actually come in.
Oh.
The fight was on the sideline.
He ran across to him.
No. He ran along the sideline and got in.
Yeah.
He never actually entered the field of play.
Yeah, I agree. Which is probably his one saving grace. But if you're on the bench, you don't get involved in that garbage.
Queensland did. Just because the fight was at their bench, are they allowed to also get
on? Sure they were playing
and a number of them did.
Yeah, all right. I'm not going to dispute that either. I thought, and I think the stupid thing is there was, if you have a look at the still shots of that, there are numerous Queensland team members and Queensland commentators with their hands on
On players.
New South Wales players.
Yeah.
I want to know why only 2 players from New South Wales,
Yeah.
from our clubs,
From our clubs.
are copping a suspension for that. A suspension?
And I saw Toko got thrown into a chair.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. you
Yeah.
know.
But no, what is it? No penalty? I mean, 10 players fined. Okay.
Yeah, and considering how much they get paid for playing that game.
Yeah, I-
7% of their match fee. I think.
Yeah, which is nothing.
Yeah, I'm amazed that the penalty for the players involved only was a suspension for the for those 2 players when it could have been a lot worse or a lot more. They should have shown that if they were serious, it should have been more suspensions for more players.
Yeah.
But let me say, Hamali,
I like too, yeah.
a little bit over the top.
He grabbed Val
Yeah,
Holmes.
but he shouldn't have even come
Oh,
on.
hang on. And what did Val Holmes say? Oh, I thought he was going to choke me. Oh, please. Grow
I know.
up, Val.
I know, but he
Far out.
shouldn't have even come from the stand. that was a little bit. To get involved.
Yeah,
in the
right.
fight
That was
with a suit.
With a suit.
And he gets
With
set
a
off.
suit, he tried to choke a player. Oh my goodness! With one hand, he's just standing there like that. That's all blown up out of proportion.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole thing has. And look,
It didn't detract from the game in the long run anyway.
thankfully they didn't, because the ref actually said, "I've got Murray and I've got a send off."
Yeah.
Now, whether he actually meant bin,
Yeah.
but you could hear the words. He said Murray and send off.
And what I don't get
That would have
is,
ruined the game if he'd sent him off.
but you got Murray in the bin, but he wasn't on the field. Why don't you just go randomly?
Yes,
eeny,
you-
meeny,
you-
miny,
pick
mo,
somebody
I
and take
choose you.
And that's what they did.
How dumb is that?
And the poor guy had to go off and say, "I didn't do anything wrong," and he had to spend 10 minutes off.
So we never found out who there was.
Yeah, it was. It was from Warriors. Barnett.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the one who actually came off.
He probably needed a breather. His defence was sensational.
And I got to admit, at that point, I thought the game was going to break open, but it didn't.
It did not.
Again, it didn't.
And then as you travel down further from that, Kalen Ponga comes on, and let me just tell you, I was like this. Ooh, we're in trouble now. It didn't break open.
Look, that's a credit to the Blues defence, because I mean, Dearden, as he often does, did a dummy and run and got into space, but there was no support, and he got cleaned up, and and their marking was fantastic. I mean, I thought Queensland were very good at the line. They just didn't let the Roosters, the Blues in. And we scored the first try. We scored both the tries outside of the 20.
Yeah.
Their line defence was excellent, and you got to credit them. They stuck really solid for a long time. But just a couple of moments. That's all it takes, and it was just enough.
There's video going around of Spencer Lenu taking the ball from a dropout. Cherry Evans put a long one out, and he ran as hard as he could and hit Grant, and just bounced him.
Oh yeah, it was sensational, wasn't it?
I mean, some of the. You know what? It reminds me of the days when Queensland used to do the same to New South Wales.
Yep.
We'd try and play the game. We'd try and do everything in the spirit of the game. We'd try and. And we'd have nice guys on the field.
And they
who were good players,
and they
they were nice.
brutalised
And
us.
they brutalised us. Stood over us like they did with Burton.
Yep.
And now it's come back to them, and they don't like it. I'm
Well,
sorry to Queenslanders. But
No, I'm not sorry. Suck it up.
Did you watch the press conferences?
I watched part of the Queensland one. I watched all of the New South Wales one.
Well, Billy Slater, he finally did say something about New South Wales at about the 10th minute, I think. But there was no, we were beaten, in the end by a better team or anything like that. It was just all about them.
Can I just say, he didn't actually say beaten. He said we were defeated.
Yeah.
We didn't lose. We were defeated.
What does that mean? Honestly.
Typical Queensland spin.
Oh, and he just, it was just build the wall,
Yeah, we didn't
build the
lose.
walls in.
We were defeated.
Yeah. No, look, he had every right to credit his players and be proud of them, because I thought they stood up defensively for a lot of the time.
For a long time.
He had a right to be proud of them. But there was no sort of, I just think when you lose, you've got to give credit to the opposition for doing something better than you did.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of comments made that, oh yes, but Queensland had quite a few players out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did New South Wales. When you consider how many injuries we had leading up into game one, that almost every player that was picked was injured leading up to it.
Yeah.
It is not the reason you lose a series.
And Billy said, we didn't get the rub of the green. I'm thinking
They did get the rub of the green.
Please. Now you're just scratching for reasons to.
I don't know how
not credit the
that's
other
right.
team.
I don't know how Walsh wasn't binned for his slide into the feet.
Did you see my comment? I comment on Facebook.
I did, yeah. You can't.
Who's his coach again? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Can I?
Just stupid stuff like that. Like to say you didn't get the rub of the green. There were Mitch Moses was knocked over at least 3 times. Now, admittedly, he's a Parramatta player, so he stands doing this the whole game. But he did get knocked over 3 times.
I'm going to get it, Steve. I'm going to get him to say it. If we go,
Look, he got knocked over 3 times. But
he played well, didn't he?
There was no penalties at all there.
But he played well, didn't he? Didn't he?
You don't want to know what I. You don't want to know what I think.
Some people think he should have been man of the series.
See,
I was still comfortable with
see, Brian,
it.
I think after what you're saying about Queensland and the press conferences, you're wearing a Maroons hat. You're starting to sound like Billy Slater. I think you need to say Mitchell Moses played well. Give credit where it's due.
Let me tell you, Mitchell Moses blew 2 tries in the first half. So I don't know. You score 1, you blow 2, you score 1. I don't know. Is that playing well?
I got to say, I thought he handled the pressure extremely well.
He did, and I feel sorry for him when he's done his bicep.
And I've got to say, I think he's got to hold the position next year, regardless of whether Nathan's clear.
Nathan's got to win it back. That's
that's why I agree.
Why would you take it away from the incumbent? You know.
Yeah.
Well,
I would.
Well, no, you would.
You put the best player in, and
but if he's is he the best player? Because he's not. He hasn't performed State of Origin.
No. Well, he hasn't had an aggressive team like that either.
Did Edwards deserve man of the match?
Ooh.
We went close. I think he went close.
Look, he runs a lot of metres, but I don't think he performed any better than a whole lot of people who were better, I think. I was really surprised when I saw he got man of the match.
Who would you?
Because I was in transit.
Who would you
I don't know, but I don't know that he stood out. He ran a lot of metres, and he always does. That's his consistent thing. But I don't know that I would have picked Mitchell over Dylan Edwards, to be honest. Because he had more. Because Mitchell Moses had more of an influence on the result than Dylan Edwards.
Maybe Yo. I thought Yo was really good.
Yo was excellent.
Like he's been playing that 60 minutes, and then they bring Jake back on, but he just played to the end.
Yeah,
poor Jake. I mean, seriously,
he played 83 minutes out of 240.
You played a game's worth.
Okay, we were talking earlier about, and I want to come back to Man of the Series in a minute, but we were talking earlier about Queensland not getting the rub of the green. What did you think of the decision by Klein to go and look at a possible penalty try when Walsh was apparently hit 30 metres away from the try line? And I remember I said to Tracy at that time, I said, this is going to sound like, now that this has happened, it's going to sound like a conspiracy for the ref to get them back into the game.
Nano was about 10 or 15 metres out, and wasn't it that they were ruling?
No, they were ruling that Walsh, because Walsh ran into the back of Luai.
I thought it was down where Nanai and I think it was To'o.
And honestly, it was 25 or 30 metres away.
Yeah, it was
that. And even the commentators saying, how can you?
Because they're saying Luai, and I'm thinking, no, that's To'o. He's wearing a light helmet, not Luai. No. So I'm thinking, what are they talking about?
What do you say about that? Oh,
stupid.
I mean, how does a ref even look at a penalty try 30 metres out?
Yes.
Yeah, when then the video ref actually got it right and said, yeah, he just ran into him. I was like, what do you want us to say?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was so glad that, because there was nothing there. So I don't know what he saw. I don't know whether he got a whisper from someone. Obviously, it wasn't a whisper from the bunker.
Yeah.
So it had to come from the sideline.
Yeah. Well, they've got to do something there, sideline. That's judges. They don't.
Hang on, and they also got the rub when Walsh clearly put his foot on the in goal.
Oh yeah.
That was the touch judge. No, you didn't touch that then. What the heck?
Sometimes you think their eyes are painted on.
So honestly, to say you didn't get the rub of the green, there were some very dubious decisions in there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to man of the match. Who would you have picked, Brian?
I would have probably went Edwards.
I would have picked Mitchell Moses.
You would have picked Mitchell Moses?
Absolutely.
I would have been happy with either of those. I've got no problem with Edwards. I think he played exceptional.
Yeah, I didn't.
I can't help. I can't
You're
help.
a hard taskmaster.
I can't help but compare him to Teddy.
Yeah.
And I think Teddy would have done equally as well in that
Hang
situation.
on. Can I just say, Steve, I was watching the game with Tom, of course.
Yeah.
And at one point, his bloke goes, "Pass the ball, Teddy Woodhoff."
No, it was on the 10-metre line.
Yeah.
And you know how he often bats back? Well, instead Edwards grabbed the ball and tried to do it one out. Teddy would have passed the ball. Yeah, he doesn't pass the ball enough in the but this was the 10-metre line.
Teddy would have.
So
passed
on his own 10-metre line.
No, on attacking 10 metres.
No, Teddy wouldn't have passed the ball. Teddy doesn't know how to pass the ball.
Can you go back and
Don't tap your little fingers.
We argue just as much between ourselves.
You're a one-eyed idiot. He's got no idea because you can't see past.
Idiot.
You can't see past your own bias.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right. I've got
No mellies, please.
no handbag slap. That's it. You're off 10.
Oh dear. All right.
I got a serious question.
Yes.
No, serious question. What I've done today is I've had a look through a number of different sites at the player ratings.
Yes.
Yep.
And basically, it's gone like this. New South Wales, all their players are 7.5s, 8.5s. There was a 9 there for Dylan Edwards, rah rah. Queensland, all 5s and 6s.
Yep.
Do you think it was that stark?
No.
The difference?
No.
What? Why?
I think there was some average performances for Queensland.
The defence,
Well,
that defensive effort killed them.
Yes, I know, but I think there were some players who went missing.
Interestingly,
Kafusi, for example.
Yep.
I think went missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
in the Telegraph, I don't know whoever else you looked at. In the Telegraph, they had 2 separate people judging each side.
Yeah.
So therefore, you've got a lack of balance there because you didn't have one person saying, against the other.
Yeah.
I frankly, every time Matt Encarnacion, he always judges the Blues team. He's got absolutely no idea. Seriously, he gives players 7 who are 9s, and he gives
That's something I didn't notice from the
honestly,
Telegraph.
He's hopeless. They should take him off. Honestly, there was one particular one I can't remember now, and I thought, are you kidding me? You've judged him. I mean, even Lenu, he gave him a 5 or a 6 or something, and the time he was on for the minutes he was on, it was clearly higher than that. Anyway,
Yes.
I just think it's a joke.
No. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion. Because I was looking at it, going, look, seriously. I mean, and for some reason, every single stat sheet that I looked at, gave Reece Walsh like an 8 or a 9, and I'm going, you know what? He was playing busted, which is gutsy.
Yeah.
But at the point where he was limping around in backfield, and you've got Kalen Ponga
sitting on the bench. I know.
Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
You got to ask,
Dude,
Ponga
get
came
him
on far too late.
Get Ponga on.
Yeah.
Billy was asked about that, and he was pretty defensive in the sense he just said, "Look, well, that was the decision we made."
Yeah.
Like, that was... I thought that was really bizarre. I thought that was really strange. I thought Pat Carrigan was... Actually, you know what? Pat Carrigan could have probably got man of the match.
Yeah,
he was a
yes.
beast.
He's every week he's like that.
And apparently he's gone off in a moon boot because he couldn't walk after the game.
Really?
Mate, he was exceptional, and I like I said, I love the defense, and I just thought that those teams were so even. Mm-hmm. It was one break off a drop ball that led to Bradman Best, who still had to beat 3 players, but
His own 2 Newcastle
and he had
players.
to bobble the ball as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other try was an individual flash of brilliance by Mitch Moses.
Yeah.
So
mentioned his name.
Yeah. So I think between the two teams there was nothing.
Nothing.
Like it wasn't.
He did just say individual brilliance by Mitch Moses, right? Yeah. Okay.
But you're right. That goes to show what a high quality game it was by 2 excellent sides, and in the end it says something about the Blues having to finally find a way to win. I thought,
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that up because I hate Queensland. I hope they all get smashed to pieces. But that game was nowhere near as the disparity in the scoring of the players was nowhere near where it was.
I think there's a couple of Queenslanders who probably won't have done their time in State of Origin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kafus is one of them. I think sadly Gagai, because he was very quiet and ineffective as well.
Yep.
And that comes down to also New South Wales defence. But
Oh, absolutely.
Will they pick some Walker over Cherry Evans next year?
Oh, you
No.
wouldn't, but
I wouldn't.
and,
I hope
Absolutely
not.
not.
Certainly hope not.
So okay, well let's hypothetically then. You're let's go. We're Billy Slater. Billy Slater's saying, guys, where do I change my team? What do you do?
Well, you're right. Kafusi, Gagai have to go.
Yep.
I think Valentine Holmes was very, very quiet.
Yep.
Other than the fight on the sideline.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Look, I even think Harry Grant had a very quiet game.
Yeah, he's got a sternum injury, so he's
Yeah, but
struggling.
you pick a bloke who's injured. You pick a bloke who's injured.
That's right. You take your
Ben Hunt didn't get many opportunities after getting knocked out. Fafita, should he have come back?
100%.
Yep.
That's the first thing you'd say to Billy. Look. We know that he called your missus a bad name, but you got to pick him.
He called his missus.
I don't know why he's not picked.
Yeah.
Cobbo seemed to be unsighted.
Yeah,
Yep.
Cobbo was unsighted.
He got belted twice, and that was the end of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how Ben Hunt got back on the field, to be honest with you. But mind you, I'm not sure how Angus Crichton got back on the field either.
Oh, but he wasn't knocked out.
Well, I thought
He
Angus
hit
was the
his
neck, and I thought
He hit his neck.
Ben Hunt was hit on the snout,
Yeah.
which always hurts.
Well, that's on your head. So
Yeah, but it wasn't like he's been hit in the head.
I was surprised they called it a category 2, and that meant that he was likely to get back.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's that. I mean,
And New South Wales. my
well,
goodness.
hang on. But you've got to admit, like Queensland will also next year. Well, you'd have to be mad not to pick. Oh no, I've forgotten his name. The Dolphins bloke who's injured.
Katoa. No. Injured.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Prop.
Flegler.
Flegler. Oh, how can I
yeah.
forget Flegler
Yeah.
and Tino?
Yeah.
Like they've got to come back in straight away.
Yep.
Straight away, that gets rid of
Kafusi.
Kafusi.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, so looking at that then, I would make a bold prediction and say right now that barring injuries, I also wouldn't be bringing back Latrell Mitchell or Tom. I think they're going to have to really struggle to get.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle to get back.
Well,
in
I
the
mean,
top.
Best earned his spot.
Best has earned his
and,
spot. Lomax has earned his
Crichton's
spot.
already earned his spot.
See, did you guys just conveniently forget that Best was twice in the clear and dropped the ball with no one in front of him?
No,
in the
but that's
first
not
half.
to say that's not to say Turbo has never dropped the ball or Latrell.
Yeah, but
But come on.
that's a big arena, and he's dropped it stone
okay,
cold.
but
Like, so
did you see
he
what
scored
happened?
a try.
Second
It was
game.
actually a knock on by Queensland.
Yeah,
He actually
hang
pushed
on.
the ball out.
But so he scored a try, so that makes up for the mistakes.
Yes.
No, I think straight away you bring back in Latrell or Turbo.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how they get back in. I don't think when you look at Crichton, you look at Lomax, you look at Best, and you look at Toe, I don't think there's a space for those guys.
When I think about it seriously, I think, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with you about what happened last night. I think you pick Mitchell over Best. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a choice.
Tom
is fragile.
Tom's a fullback.
Tom's fragile, and so well, he is.
I hope he wins us the comp this year. I prove you wrong.
He's not, you say he's not fragile. The last 3 to 4
I hope
years,
he runs
is not
over the
fragile.
top of you guys in a couple of
You'll
weeks
be
and
lucky for
kills
him
you.
to see the season out.
I hope he wins us the comp. You
He won't.
haters.
What are you going to say?
Yeah,
What are you going to
haters.
call me?
I say
don't hate
haters.
him. I don't hate him.
Oh,
He's
my
just been
goodness.
fragile. You can't deny he's been be fragile.
He has been fragile. And so's Latrell. Latrell lately has been fragile as well.
Anyway, you were going to say? I forgot what you.
And Cleary Moses, that's a difficult decision.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how you bring Cleary back.
Who else is in the frame? So Luai in 6. Who else is in the frame for a 6?
You'd go Luai. No, Luai this year has been
I'm not
on
saying you
fire.
wouldn't, but who would be behind him? I'm just trying to think.
As a 6, geez, there's not many.
I mean, Cleary was there, but he's going.
No.
To
Tell you the biggest contention, like all of that we can argue about, and I don't think we're going to lose if you put in Latrell or Tom or Bradman Best. I don't think we lose.
Yeah.
Hooker is a different story though.
Yeah,
Reece Robson, and I've said it now for 2 years. He doesn't impress me. He makes tackles, and his service out of dummy half is always one out.
So would you go to Blake Brayley then?
No, get Appy back in.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you do, but we need someone who's actually going to run from dummy half.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't necessarily. I don't believe that Connor Watson turned the game, but hey, look! Every time he got the ball, he made meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
he was just
so-
a point of difference that they needed at that time
Yeah.
to get things sparked.
I think Appy's the one. If you're going to do that,
Yeah,
The problem with Appy is he's in a team where he's got to make it all happen.
that's right.
Which is
And
Mitch
he
Moses'
doesn't-
problem.
But Mitch Moses' job is he's a 7. His job
Yeah.
is to lead the team around. Appy's not that person, and I think Appy is brilliant. But I actually think in a team chock full of stars, that I think that he might hog the ball from the playmakers.
No,
Yeah.
I actually think he'll be the one who does run and open the game up, and then the playmakers come on the back of that.
Yeah, I'd probably think about Blake Brayley.
No, I would have had him this year. So anyway, I'm happy. I actually think that's the biggest decision to make. I wasn't impressed with Reece Robson.
How much were you impressed with Michael Maguire? I've said all along that I think it's a great choice to be coach.
Yeah, I was having a look at his record, and I don't know whether he's a good club coach because he seems to get.
He won South the premiership.
Yeah, but
He walked into a club full of
Yeah, he-
chocolate stars ready to win.
I was going to say he walked into a winning club.
And the Tigers, he didn't have that, and he, as much as he tried really hard, he just couldn't get them moving.
But as a special events coach, I think he's done an exceptional job.
I mean, he
Some
did well
New
with New Zealand. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, absolutely. No, you'd keep Madge.
Yeah.
I just don't know how he. I would be worried about him as a club coach, though.
All right.
All right,
We're going to wrap it up.
let's wrap it up.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Great performance, great night, great viewing. You missed it, bad luck.
Yeah, I actually sent a message to a friend of mine in America and said, "You got to watch this game.
This is State of Origin.
You've got to
Should
watch."
put that on the Las Vegas highlight reel.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know.
that was brutal. So, and we were watching it with a couple of our non-league followers, and after about 10 minutes, Matt Daly turned to me and went, "Man, when did this game get so brutal?"
Tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All
go
right,
the
well
Blues.
Done. Well done, New South Wales. Good win. Bad luck, Queensland. We'll see you next year.
So be sure to give us your opinion on some of these issues that we brought up tonight.
Yes.
The melee and the brouhaha.
the
and
handbag slap.
And the Reece Walsh kick in the head.
Poor Cam.
Well coached.
Poor Cam is out. He's taken the early guilty plea. He's out for 2 weeks.
Molly hasn't taken it yet. I don't know what's going on. Hope we fight it because
Well, it's
No.
only 3 weeks after that.
Don't
3 weeks.
fight. It's not worth it.
stupid NRL. Suspended a player who wasn't even on the field.
Well, he shouldn't have run on the field.
He didn't run on the field.
He could have been a streaker. All right, thank you for watching. This is From the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve. Like I said, this is just a State of Origin show. We'll do our normal show again next week.
Yep.
Gentlemen, anything to sign off with?
Oh, bring on the comp.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
over
It's over
now.
now.
Normality
All
now.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
See ya.